back to That's Bonkers. Today we're going to talk about how Jesus is bonkers in love with us, but we also have something exciting for today's story. And it's talking about sharing good news. I'll start. So, when I was 7 years old, I got my first puppy, and I walked into second grade that year like this. Guess who got a puppy? I did. So I got a puppy, and I bet Miss Glenna's good news can't top that.
Well, I don't know, but maybe it can. I was so excited when I found out I was having a girl, which is Darcy. I was so happy. I had a son first, and then I found out I was having a girl. I was so happy. I couldn't wait to tell everybody about it. Oh, love her.
Love you. But that reminds me of the story today. Let's get into it. So now that Paul was a Christian, he couldn't help himself but go and tell people the great news. So he would go to one house, Jesus is the Son of God! And then he'd go to another house, Jesus is the Son of God! And then go to a third house, Jesus is the Son of God! The people couldn't believe it because they were so used to him being the person who would arrest and kill Christians. But now he was a Christian himself and he couldn't contain the good news.
Not everyone was amazed. The Jewish leaders didn't believe that Jesus was God's son. And they certainly didn't like Paul going around telling everybody that Jesus was the Son of God. So they came up with an evil plan. And you know what that plan was? The town of Damascus had a tall wall around it. So the Jewish leaders decided to sit by the gates and wait for Paul to come through the gates. Because when he did, they were going to jump out and they were going to grab him and then they were going to kill him.
Fortunately for Paul, he found out about the plan ahead of time, but he still had to get out of Damascus. So one night, his friend and him climbed up the wall and they put Paul inside of a basket and slowly lowered him down to the other side. Well, you might think that almost being killed would discourage Paul from telling the good news about Jesus, but no way. As soon as Paul got over, he rushed out of Damascus and then headed straight for Jerusalem.
When he got to Jerusalem, the believers were all scared because they thought Paul was there to arrest them and kill them because they didn't know about his life-changing experience with Jesus on the road to Damascus. His friend Barnabas was there, and thankfully, the believers trusted Barnabas. So Barnabas was able to encourage the people to let Paul stay with them. So Paul stayed, and he was encouraged every day by the Holy Spirit to be bold and tell others about Jesus. And every day, new believers believed and were following Jesus. That's awesome.
Sometimes telling others about Jesus is really scary. It must have been even scarier for Paul. Telling others about Jesus could have gotten him killed. So where do you think Paul got the courage and power to boldly tell others about Jesus? I think it was the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is God's Spirit that helps comfort and guide people who follow Jesus. It is the Holy Spirit who gave Paul the courage and power to spread the news about Jesus. But that's not all. The Holy Spirit gives the courage and power to share the good news of Jesus. That's what our Bible verse is today. Let's take a look. Acts 1:8. But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes on you. Then you will tell people about me from one end of the earth to the other. After Jesus rose from the dead and went up to heaven, God sent his Holy Spirit to help us. So when we tell others about Jesus, we're never alone. The Holy Spirit is always with us. He gives us the power to tell others about Jesus. In fact, I have a few questions to leave y'all on. What is your favorite part of today's story? And why do you think Paul wanted to tell so many people about Jesus? I hope you have a great week, and I can't wait to see y'all's beautiful faces in person. I miss y'all so much. Bye!